a soft material encased between essentially steel.
Is that the security provisions also for the facility?
Well, it'll double. It'll act as, yeah. Where we don't have sound barrier, we're proposing a 10-foot fence.
Remember, the township had an issue also with landscape. Is that been?
We've addressed that, and we also committed to the township to return to them. You know, once we get everything set, and we're happy to take any recommendations that they have regarding landscape.
Mr. Don, I think it is also helpful to note that once Mr. McCabe, on behalf of Cumberland Township, sent that letter, and by the way, it had been past characterized as a letter of opposition. It was not, obviously you read it, it was not a letter of opposition, it was a letter of concern. And it was particularly, if you all know Mr. McCabe, the landscape architect, and he was all about landscape. When these plans were modified as a result of that and submitted and made available to everybody, we've not heard from Pembroke. So my assumption is that Pembroke staff, I'm not going to represent you, that the architect talked about that. But in that they had a position to take early on with concerns. And in that those plans were amended to reflect those concerns. And in that we have not heard from them in 3 or 4 months since the third.
Did you reach out to Pemberton or request them to reach out?
I reach out to Pembroke on a regular basis.
How many vehicles can you do for exiting?
How many vehicles for exit?
Exiting. Vehicles.
Large.
We gotta have that once in a while.
I don't think we count those up because we're always asked to how many incoming trucks can we
I got you with one, huh?
Yeah. but let me see, because we do have a plan here of the I can at least come up with an estimate. Well, I'd say, just along this piece of driveway itself, probably 10 vehicles, 12, 14.
About 12 minutes now.
Yeah.
12, 15. And you have that doubling, have that those on the other side behind that.
These over here?
Yeah.
They're doubled up.
Okay.
They're going in. All these vehicles would be going in. These would be vehicles coming in.
Can you address the impact of the traffic of the trucks moving the stones?
Certainly. Our traffic report, and I think I won't speak for the county engineer, but this area 206, as it's been stated, is saturated. Based on our traffic report, it's not going to have really a noticeable impact on delays in that area. And we've committed at SWAC and in consultation with your staff to support the request for a left-hand turn lane into the facility off of 206. And I noticed one of the requests was for a gap study regarding to determine whether or not left-hand turns out of the facility should be restricted. And we don't have any objection to doing that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if DOT were to ask us to do that as well.
Have you spoke with DOT at all?
We spoke with DOT initially, meaning
3 years ago?
2.5 years ago probably.
As a follow-up to Mr. O'Brien's question, in terms of the traffic, Mr. O'Dell stood up earlier and said there'll be traffic on Powell Road. Is that accurate?
No, it's not. We have, again, we've agreed with SWAC recommendations and I believe staff's recommendations to restrict truck traffic on numerous roads in and around East Hampton's town center. And I believe that included Powell Road.
Now, obviously, the county controls that, right?
Yes. That is something that can be included in this plan amendment.
There was also, I'm not sure if it was criticism, it was a comment in the staff report that we didn't submit a revised traffic report after the agreement to reduce tonnage from 623 to 500 to 300 incidents. Do you recall that?
Yes.
What's your response to that?
We will be doing a revised traffic report when we submit to the DEP. I think it's pretty obvious that if you go from 600 to 500, your traffic's going to be reduced.
In fact, wasn't that acknowledged when it's back there?
Yes, it was.
Is the applicant going to consider reducing the permits to 75 tons a day?
Brown, I'm not going to answer that question. The application is 500 with 350 in our threshold. If the board thinks that there are issues that invite further exploration before it makes a decision, and we reconvene on August 9th before the 180 days is up, and somebody wants to have those discussions, that may be an opportunity to do that, as well as to answer some of the unanswered questions. Or alternatively, to extend it beyond August 9th if the board doesn't want to revisit it that quickly. And we certainly are meeting to revisit it.
The traffic study that you have on the site, the northern intersection where the light is, do you have a rating on that?
A rating?
Yeah, I know we've done the ones on 130.
Level of service means?
Yeah, well, most I like up and down Route 130, most of the intersections are failing intersections because of traffic problems and things like that. Is there a rating at that as you went through your?
I believe that also, and I'd have to look at the report again. I'm not the traffic engineer that did the study. I feel it's solid waste, not traffic.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
You know, traffic studies can be very big.
But I believe it was a level of service F as well, and we calculated the additional delay because of this facility, and it was maybe a second or two. You know,
I think that one of the things that concerns me when I was out there looking at it, and I drive at 406 an awful lot, is with a failing intersection, with an F intersection already there, it's bad. And a second or two, you're looking at trying to cross traffic over there, and particularly at times of the day, I don't think you're going to be able to do it. I don't think you're going to cross that road.
no,
I mean, it's hard to, because that, you know, it's constant traffic. If it's not one way, it's the other way. So I'm wondering if you're going to push into your facility, or if you're going to be a hazard going out onto it. I mean, if you came out to the light somehow, at least you would be a controlled intersection. As a non-controlled intersection, if a truck trying to get across to go north and just whipping out or pushing themselves, because they have to make a buck too. They're not going to sit there forever waiting, and they're going to fight themselves out. I just see it's a dangerous situation.
well, as was noted in your staff report, they want us to look at that and in conjunction with DOT, and we certainly agree. You know, if any of the data indicate that they shouldn't be making left-hand turns, then they would be prohibited.
If you don't make a left-hand turn, how would you go north?
They would have to find another route.
Right. Was that factored into any of
Certainly
your...
roundabout and staying off the restricted routes.
Right.
Here's the issue that brings up, though, Mr. Director, and that is this. One of the provisions in the report relates to zoning, and someone spoke this evening about what shopping center is going to want to come into that area, or what office building is going to come into that area. When I take the turnpike and it's split, and you have trucks on one side and cars on the other, I always go on the truck side because truck drivers are better drivers. Which do. I actually take judicial notice of that. So if this site, and this is one of the quandaries I think you face, and that this report that you received sort of creates, you kind of condemn the problem. Because I have 4 children, 3 daughters, and I understand the noise issue. I'm not coming out of that shopping center. I'm not going into that shopping center if I have to come out and make a left-hand turn to go north on 206. So this suggestion that this type of a business vitiates the ability in the future to have commercial enterprise on that stretch of 206, you've answered. Nobody's going to put a shopping center in that site to come out of there in that area. And I represent developers, as you know. I would never say to a developer, come do this. If the very response you're going to get, a truck driver's going to get, is going to be that response, that it's a dangerous road and you can't come out and make a left-hand turn. What mother with 3 kids in the backseat of the car is going to do that? And the other part about the zoning issue that I thought was I don't want to say uninformed, but not as well considered as it probably could have been, is that it actually references that in Pemberton's GCLI zone, which is across the street, it allows, among other things, light industrial uses on parcels not to exceed 5 acres. This is page 19. light industrial uses on parcels not to exceed 5 acres as long as the manufacturing operations take place within a completely enclosed building. Isn't that what we are? Less than 5 acres, completely enclosed building. I don't know that this is as dramatic a zoning issue as this report suggested it, and I remind you that East Hampton is not opposing it, and East Hampton's vision that people have spoken about this evening, and they've spoken about it in good faith. I don't doubt that for a moment. But it's those town fathers that withdrew